Hi guys, welcome to the After Dark with the Posse. So we're just here today to answer some questions we got you guys to send in and to drink and be a little bit unfiltered, but not feral. Um, so I feel like the first question of the day is, what are you drinking?
So it's in a very fancy, a very classy cup today, but it is wine because despite being after dark, it's only 4:30 here. So going simple with some wine. What about you? What do you got?
I went extra. So it is, can't even see it. Whoop. It is two different types of rum, so spiced rum and honey rum, mango puree. Soda water is seltzer there, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, seltzer and a bit of lime.
that sounds good. Well, cheers.
Cheers.
All right. So we're gonna start off with a really tame question because I have a feeling this is gonna go downhill quickly for us. It's us. So the first question somebody sent in is just wanted to know how old we are, which is very simple. So I just turned 38 on Tuesday. And then Emma,
I'm 36. I was 36 day before Jimmy this year.
we have some fun birthdays.
Yeah.
Um, I don't even know. Do you want to go? You want to ask the next one? I'll let you ask the next one.
Yeah, okay. So the next question is, if I can read it, I've drunk a lot today. Like that's
You've
not
been
my first
pre-drinking.
drink.
You've got me beat.
Yeah. What's your biggest, if I get caught, I'm deleting the whole account post?
That's tricky because I feel like on the Posse page, especially, we try
Mm-hmm.
to be really, really careful. Now on our own pages, might be a little bit different. I've got a few things on my page that I'm not gonna say which ones, but I've made a few
We
things.
all know.
Yeah, I've made a few things with some choice songs that like they're good and I know people love them and that's why I do them, but yeah, it'd be better if nobody of a certain type saw them.
Yeah, I'm the same. Like, so, the internet has its Feral Fridays and other things that go on. And sometimes you just have to make the content. Um, yeah, but so I'm pretty sure, like, they're never tagged. So hopefully people don't tag because that's no, you don't tag
Yeah,
people in their own feral posts, right?
I've literally begged people to not
Take
because
it
I've had
down,
people do
no.
it and I'm like,
Yeah.
please take that, please don't, because yeah, I'm like, look, we love all of them. We make it because we know people love them, but they don't need to see them. Like
Every
that'd be
time. I'm
great.
so sorry.
Oh my god, I put apologies
Every
every
time,
time
yeah.
in my captions, like just in case, because I'm like, just giving the people what they want, okay? Like, my bad. I
Whoops.
feel like that goes really good with the next question we have written down, actually, because we
Okay.
also have so if you were to be exposed for one secret mod obsession, what would it be?
So, like, are we not including anything to do with playing with fire or
I feel like it could be anything, like just any. I mean, we all know we have an obsession with that. That's why we run the
yeah,
page. But like,
well, a secret obsession? I don't really have any secrets.
yes, I don't know if I
Um,
really have any secret. I mean, if you go through my stuff, you kind of can figure out what I like to do and make, and things like that.
I read a lot. I read a lot more than people think. I think, like,
You do read
like
a lot.
fantasy books, like
So
freaky
yeah, so you do
fantasy
all the
books.
reading. My big thing is I love to write. I actually write a lot of stories and someday I keep saying that someday I want to write a book. That's like one of my bucket list things is to write like a published book. Um I've been saying
Yes.
that since I was a teenager and it hasn't happened yet. So I don't know if it's going to, but that would be cool if it did. So that's probably my
Yeah,
big thing.
I'm not good at the writing thing. I'm good with the ideas.
That's why you always have me
I'm good
writing
with the
stuff for
ideas
us.
and make it more dramatic. Yeah,
I say
but
you come to me all
I
the
write
time.
it out
Flush
and I'm
this
like,
out, Kate.
and
I'm
then
like,
send it to you.
okay.
Yeah, and then I'm like, no, we need to change it a bit like this, and then you're like, yeah, okay, like this, and then you just do all the grammar because terrible. But yeah,
What I do.
yeah, I'm the ideas person. You're the writing person. Like that's
Yeah. That's why we flow so well. We're a good team. Cool.
what's the next one? Okay, so the next question is, tell us something that's bad about yourself or that you're not good at.
Hmm. There's a lot. I mean, it depends how deep you want to get, but I'm not good at like, not good at talking about feelings, things like deep. I'm terrible at that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also a really horrible swimmer. Like I lived by water my whole life. I'm from Michigan, so Great Lakes State, like it's surrounded by water. Then I move here and there's the Chesapeake Bay and the ocean and like all these things. So you should be really good at swimming. And no, I'm amazed I can get to point B and not drown. Like I'm horrible and I don't know why. It's just like not.
Like, yeah. I think
I
I'm
wish I
with
was
you
better.
I think I'm with you on the feelings things. I'm terrible at that. Like, shut that shit down,
Oh
like,
yeah. Oh my God, yes.
um, but I'm also terrible at singing, like horrific. And I'm not one of those people that sits there and says, "Oh, I'm so bad," and then has this amazing voice that shocks everyone. No, I'm genuinely shit. Like, it's not even, it's not even funny.
I'm a good singer. I'm just like, so I did choir, I did theater, I did a lot of musicals, all that. But if you ask me to get up and sing in front of people, even though I've had like solos and things like that, I nope. I just like everybody's like, oh, like when they were doing the TikTok, like the duet challenges and that. No, thank you. Like,
No.
oh, nope, no. Even though I
Like, I
know I
love
can
you
sing,
guys.
no.
I will share everybody else doing it because you're all amazing, but no
Yes.
thanks.
But you don't
Mm-mm.
want me doing it. I don't
No.
care. People are like, oh, but you're good at it. I'm like, yeah, but it's people seeing me. And I hate people seeing me, which is ironic because we're doing this right now. But
Yeah.
I
Me
hate
too.
people seeing me.
Yeah.
So I get that. Um, what else? Have you seen any musical? Yes. I've been in a whole bunch of musicals too.
Hundreds.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I remember like going to field trips in school, seeing musicals. Also, yeah, doing theater. I didn't really like doing straight plays. I've done some, but I genuinely like generally I wanted to do all the musicals more because I loved to sing in that. Um, and yeah, even now, like I constantly want to go to see different musicals. Like if I lived in New York or it was at least a little closer to New York, I would probably go to Broadway all the time because I love them all. I want to go see like everything. So, but I have seen a lot. I own a lot too because I have a lot like on
Yeah.
DVD, like
Do you have like a
Hairspray,
favorite one?
Rent, a lot of those. I'm obsessed with Rent. Rent is definitely like top tier for me, but I like them
For
all.
me, I think I've seen far too many. Well, no, I don't. There's never enough.
Ever.
I've seen a lot, like a lot, and I love them all, and I could go every single fucking day. Like I love it. Um,
Yes.
I've seen Phantom of the Opera 6 times. That's the one I've seen the most, and I
That's a
love
good
it.
one.
And I still cry every time, and it's not even sad, but I still cry. Well, it is.
Isn't
Um,
you?
I just get so overwhelmed with just all of the emotion and the passion, and I'm just like, oh my God. Not like sobbing, but like,
Right. It's like it's an experience, especially when you
yeah.
get to go in
Uh,
person. Like, agreed. No, I totally get that.
yeah. I love it. I would like goals, go and see it in Sydney because amazing. But yeah, I love it. I've seen so many I couldn't even name them all. Like hundreds.
Yeah, same.
Okay, what's the next question? It's on my hold on, my phone closed.
I'll drink to
um
that. It's fine. You look, I'll drink. Totally
yeah.
fair.
The next question is, have you ever met JC or Jimmy? For me, that is a hard no. Um, NSYNC didn't tour here, and I'm
You're
still
not bitter.
really, really salty about it. Um, no, I haven't, but life goals, especially Jimmy, like life goals right there.
I desperately want to meet Jimmy. I think that would
Yeah.
be. I know we told him before when we did that interview with him that like would he ever do a signing or anything? And he's like, well, like if JC wanted me to, I'm like, we want you to.
Yeah.
Like, no offense to JC, but like, hello. Um. So yeah, I have not met Jimmy, but I would love, 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 love to meet him. I have met JC though. I met him in November, and he's really sweet. He's really nice. It was a lot. Like it was like a chaotic because I left my house. I got up at like 4 a.m. to drive up there and see him for like 2 minutes and then drive back. So like that might be crazy, but I've met half the guys from NSYNC, and he was like, he's my favorite. Like he's the one I really wanted to meet the most, and so I was crazy and I did it. But no, he's really sweet. He's really nice to me, and he was just awesome. Like I want to do it again. He was awesome. He really
Oh,
was.
signings, JC.
Yeah,
God.
come on, JC. Like what else do you have to be doing?
Especially this side of the pond.
I'm just saying, I live in his hometown. Like, why has he not just come home and visited his hometown? Like, that would
Is
be
that not his
cool.
home anymore?
No. But you know what? He can come here anyways. It's also the capital of the nation. So like it's a big deal. Like just
Yeah.
come here, I'm sure. No pressure or anything.
And give us
Bring
more than
Jimmy
nine
and the
days
dog.
notice so that I can fly
Yes.
over.
No, see, they don't want
Yeah.
that. They
And
probably
and
don't
more
want
than
us
9 days
together.
notice so I can fly over.
They're like, two of
Yeah.
us.
But it would be fun. Like I'd have to that's gonna be chaos.
It's gonna be so
Us
chaos.
two
But
together.
I'm ready for it. It'd be so fun.
Yeah.
We might get in trouble, but it's okay. Let's see. The most frustrating thing about posting regularly.
The most
Distracted.
frustrating thing for me.
I
You want to
mean,
go?
just fitting it in. You and I are constantly like, oh crap, we both got to do that. Like, we obviously we love the page, but obviously we have real lives. We both have children.
Yeah.
We both have other commitments. So like, there's definitely been days where we have to sit here and really figure out. Okay, I have this meeting at this time, and I have this on this time. Okay, so who can post this? And like, and we try really hard, I think, to really stay consistent, that we're not taking a day off. We've had some here and there, like, we've had times we're both sick and it's just like, we're
Yeah.
physically not able to do it, or, things like that. Um, but I mean, we definitely try to stick with the every 2 hours we're posting stuff and all that. And I think there are definitely some times though where it gets really frustrating because it's just like, I've got to get this up. I have to, do this and this, but I also have to get my kids out the door for this event or whatever. But somehow we've made it work this whole time. But
Yeah.
sometimes it's definitely trickier than others.
Yeah. And I think, like you get up super early to make content. I stay up super late my time to make content,
Oh yeah.
make it work, but it is difficult. And I think that like another thing that gets like, and it's nobody's fault, but it really bugs me. It's like when you spent ages setting up a post and a notification comes and you
Oh my
press
gosh,
to like
yes.
get rid of it and it deletes the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whoever designed that in
that's the
Instagram,
worst.
like, we need to have a talk.
Just stop.
Like,
Yeah, like even if it came up being like, do you want to leave or something, and you could like cancel
yeah.
it. So
Yeah, I
much
actually
better.
had that earlier today. I was posting something and a notification came up, and like just as I was going to add music, so it like took it all, and I was like, great,
Yeah.
cool. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's somebody's fault, but it's somebody in Instagram. Like, and I
Yeah.
don't like them. They're not my friend. Say
Okay, so what's the most rewarding thing about posting so regularly for you?
probably just like I love when people share it and stuff. Like when you see people really excited, get lots of likes, lots of shares, especially because, like you said, we get up so early, stay up so late, making so much content that I feel like when we have that opportunity that somebody, say we post one thing that like 10 people share, or, something,
Mhm.
20 people like it or comment, or just it does really well. I feel like that's just always so rewarding to see your hard work, like something you worked really hard to make, do as well as you wanted it to. Like, that's just awesome.
Yeah, same for me. Like, because don't get me wrong, like it's like we love it when like JC sees it or Jimmy sees it or they like or comment or whatever. Of course, everybody does, right? But like when you see like the followers engaging in it, that's the best part, I think, because
Agreed.
what you're doing is working, what you're attempting to do is working.
Exactly. Because, like, we're not doing the page for JC and Jimmy to see it. We're doing it to get the word out there. And so when we see people really doing that, like really responding and loving it, and, they're like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And they're all sharing it or whatever. It's like, yeah, we're getting that word out there, which is exactly
Just
why we do the
keeping
page.
that conversation going.
Exactly. We don't want
Yeah,
it to just get pushed aside and forgotten. And so to see people get excited about the content, things like that, we know, okay, cool. This is still being seen and still being pushed. And that's why we do the page more than
that's why
anything.
we do the page. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so the next question we got from like, I'm not gonna lie, this is the first question actually that got submitted, and I struggled so hard.
Stumped. I was
Like,
stumped.
yes, I was like, this is a really hard question. So, what was a moment of NSYNC or JC history that made you the happiest, and a moment that made you sad? You want to go? Because this one was hard. This one is
Um,
so hard for me.
so like, I mean, have to separate the two. You can't like,
Oh yeah, definitely.
yeah. So I feel like NSYNC history, I would just like seeing all of the guys, like the behind the scenes stuff. I feel like we didn't there wasn't a lot of that around when they did that. Do you know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
couldn't see them like goofing about and just being them, and it made you like just I just made me happy because I was just like, oh, they're idiots like us. You
Like
know, like
we've had so many conversations like we do.
JC. Do you know what makes me happy about JC? Like when Playing with Fire came out, just to see like that light and that passion behind his eyes again when he was talking about everything. And I was
Yeah.
just like, wow, like he really cares about this. Like, do you know what I mean? And it's
Oh
so
yeah, that's
good as
exactly
well.
what I was gonna say too. Of course.
Of course, same brain. Sad. Oh, what makes me sad? Everything. No.
Can't say
Anything.
you have everything sad.
No, I know. The NSYNC side of it was probably just them like never. Oh, there's a story here. um,
Uh-oh.
so, as I've said, and I'm not totally over, NSYNC never toured the UK, and their last tour, the celebrity tour, I was like, Mom, I need to go. I need to go. I was like 13, right? And she's
Okay.
like, eventually gave in and was like, fine, we'll get you a ticket. Go online. And I was like, they're not coming to the UK. Um, and I freaked out about that, and then I spent like 3 days researching it, and I was like, "There's one in France, right? Mum, I'm going to France." She was like, "You're not fucking going to France. You're 13 years old. I'm not allowing you to travel across to another country which you don't speak the language." I was like, "I'll learn French," like as every 13-year-old does. Like I
Of
was
course.
beside myself, and then yeah, and so I spent about 3 weeks sulking and and then she finally gave in, and my grandparents were going over, and they were like for a holiday, but afterwards, like, well, we'll go a few days early. She can come with us. We'll drop her off at the concert, pick her up afterwards, type of deal, right?
Right.
I was like, oh my gosh! So I go back on to buy it, and they're sold out.
Oh.
Um, so that was like my biggest NSYNC sad thing.
I mean, I think that counts as being pretty traumatic.
Um, yeah. Uh, but as a parent, there's no way I'd allow
Oh
my
gosh,
13 year
yeah.
old to travel
But
to
like
another
back
country.
then,
Yeah.
we thought we knew
Yeah.
everything.
Of course, right? I don't really
I
have
would
a
agree with that.
I don't have a JC sad moment really. Like him like disappearing from the world for 20 years. That's
I
kind of
mean,
sad.
that counts.
Um things like albums not being released, that was really sad. But
Yeah, some of us have names that go with those albums. A little
yeah.
bitter about that. Could have had
Yeah.
an album named after me. Not
So
after me,
fucking
but
good.
Yeah, I would agree. I
Um
think like for me, the happiest would probably be like the star ceremony and things like that. Like getting to see
yeah.
them get the attention that they deserved. Because I know like, I don't know about over there, but over here, like obviously everybody loved them. They were huge in the States. But you also had all these people like, oh, boy bands are stupid and boy
Yeah.
bands are cheesy and da da da, like all the negative. And obviously we didn't agree. And like we were like, no, and we knew they were good people. We knew that it wasn't just, oh, they're good at singing. We knew that they did a lot for charity and they did a lot, like they were just really good guys. And so to see them get the recognition that they deserved, I was like watching it online. And I remember watching the ceremony, like wanting to cry because I was like just so happy for them because I was like, they deserve that. So I think that was definitely high on the happy. And yeah, I agree with JC, the happiest one for definitely just watching him glow and just the
Yeah.
way he would talk about Playing with Fire, like so passionate. It was like, there's the JC we all know. And like,
JC's
that's
back.
he's
Yeah.
back. And like we were so happy. And I think sad, yeah, like obviously I did get to go to some shows. They did. Sorry. I do remember though, I did not get to go to No Strings Attached. And I don't remember why, but I remember for whatever reason we couldn't get tickets. But my local radio station was streaming like the audio. So you could
Mhm.
hear it, but you couldn't see it. And I just remember sitting there like in my room, I made a little poster, like all sad about I still have it because it's so stupid. But I made a little poster about like how much I wished I could have seen the concert and I wish I was there and I, like crying, like all just sad that I wasn't there. And then they ended up doing the IMAX movie and most of the footage was actually from that concert, like in
Yeah.
Michigan. And I was just like, this is the one I should have been at. And I think that made me even more bitter that I wasn't there. But like I got to go to the next two. So, I made up for it. But I was kind of sad. And then yeah, JC, I think, yeah, probably just the him disappearing because it was like, I don't think like I get why and I get, he's a private person, totally respect that. But I think as a fan, it was like, but you're so talented and like the world needs his voice. Like he's just
Right?
so good. And he doesn't, I don't think he even knows how good he is. And it's like,
No.
you're insanely talented. And like, I know he's talented at producing and, writing songs for other people, but like, we just, his voice is just something about it that is just
Mhm.
as he ages, I swear it gets better. And it was like, it was just sad when all of a sudden you're seeing these other celebrities that are big singers, whatever, and you're like, oh, like they're not terrible, but like, oh, okay. And then you hear him and it's like I remember when they did was it the Vanguard Award that Justin got? And the
Mhm.
guys came and they did a little bit. Just
Yeah.
that littlest bit, it was like, holy crap. Like you can
Right?
still sing. Like, it
And
wasn't
move.
like you've
Yeah.
aged and lost your voice or yeah. And so I think it was just, yeah, it was sad that like he's so talented and just I don't say wasn't doing anything with it. He of course was doing his own thing, but
Yeah.
like hearing him back is it's what we needed. It's like world peace or
I feel
something.
like I don't blame him though, man, because if that
Oh
was me,
no.
I would hide away from everyone and be like, bye.
Yes. I look, I am not famous by any stretch and I
No.
hide away from people.
Yeah.
I get it.
People.
I honestly can't imagine like living the type of lifestyle where like you can't walk out your door
No, couldn't do it.
without 20 million people bombarding you. Like I saw pictures, some like tabloid or something of him just getting out of his car at his house. And I'm
Yeah.
like, that's his personal space, just like
Yeah.
I
Boundaries, people.
exactly. Some
Boundaries.
people do not have them.
I
I don't know.
before we end this question, I do want to give an honorable mention to Paradise and the Wilton
Mm.
because oh my God,
Yeah.
you know, like I watched that sobbing, like sobbing.
That is the like I'm a filtered emotional person. I don't generally
I'm
cry
not.
over songs or anything like that.
I do.
I remember when the CD came out, getting it, and I got the like digital copy before I got the like actual
Hard
physical
copy.
copy.
Yeah.
And I remember listening to it in my room. And by the time it got to Paradise, it was quite late at night. So my room was dark. It was quiet. It was just me with my little headphones in, like listening. And all the other songs, great album. But I got to that part and I was just like, oh, I'm not okay. Like I thought I was okay. Like it started and I was like, I'm okay. This is good, but like I'm okay. Then it got to all of the guys because it starts with just Justin really, but then it
Hmm.
got to like the harmonizing and what we know and
Right.
sync to be with the refrain and everything, and I was like, oh, I'm not okay. And then it got to
No.
JC's verse, and really that was the
Yeah.
first time we've heard JC really sing. I mean, yes, I know he's in Better Place, and like Better Place is great, we love it, but
Yeah.
Paradise just hits a feel that Better Place
Yeah.
couldn't do. And like
Yeah.
it got to that point in like JC's verse, and I was like, done. I was
Yeah.
all over.
Yeah. Broken does that to me every single time still though. Like,
Yes.
yeah.
Don't go. Kills
I
me.
was it was like 1 o'clock in the morning in my bed, lights off, because it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, the kids are asleep, right? Like
Oh yeah.
AirPods in, volume turned up. And I was like, oh, and you just go from the song before it and you're like, and I was like,
It's a whiplash, dude.
just
Yes.
sobbing. Oh, gosh. Anyway, next question.
Okay. So the next question, I don't like this question. What is something that creeps you out?
Oh, me first.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you on. I don't
Um,
want to talk about it. I mean, I can. It's snakes. Snakes creep me out. I can't. I just can't with snakes. No.
See, I'm good with snakes. I don't particularly like snakes or spiders or rats, but I'm good with that. I can handle that. I'm so embarrassed. Okay, the one thing.
Oh, now I want to know.
Ugh, I can't do frogs. I can't do it. They jump. They're disgusting.
So
And I've been
cute.
no, 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 no. You are wrong. That is not the correct answer. They are freaky as fuck, and I hate them. And I was attacked by hundreds of frogs, and it's a really long story, so I can't share it. But I was 11, and I literally was covered in thousands, and I'm not exaggerating,
Okay, that might be pushing
thousands
it. I like frogs, but that might be pushing
of
it.
baby frogs. They were like literally like this big.
Right.
and I'm not even kidding. And it was really late, and I was running around a lake because that's what you do when you're 11 and
I
not
mean, of
supposed to be
course.
out. Um, and and
Lessons were
apparently
learned.
they're attracted to like noise and light, and so me running, screaming to a like light, do you call them lamp posts, light posts, whatever?
Yeah. Yeah.
And like didn't help. And then I got out of the pitch black into the light, and I was covered in frogs. And I can't do it. I hate them. They can stay away from me. Thank you very
I
much.
mean, I like frogs, but I don't think I want that many on me, like
No.
ever. But snakes, like
Mm-mm.
even we had a snake living in our front yard for like 2 days, and I was like, we should probably just move because, like,
No, I'm good
absolutely
with
not.
snakes.
Ugh, no,
No.
no.
I mean, I don't like spiders, and I'm not going to touch one, and I'm going to make somebody else move it, but I'm not like, it's not like my skin crawls when I think of it.
Right. Yeah, no, snakes, like, and just a picture on Google will do me in. I'm just, no.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
the
next
same.
question. I don't want to talk about this. We need a better question. What's the next one?
Just saying, if you all start sending me frog gifts, we're not going to be friends.
Unfollowed.
Yeah, thanks, because Teddy's done that before.
Why am I not surprised? He's gonna start sending me snakes now. I already know it.
What word do you overuse?
Fuck. It like
Yep.
it's used all the time. If people could hear the messages between you and I all day, they would already know
Yeah.
this answer. Because
Yeah.
guilty, very, very guilty of using that one. I
Yeah.
think that's what
Curse
your
word.
answer too.
Yeah, fuck is pretty much all the derivatives of fuck.
Wait, of
Basically all
course.
the curse words. I mean, I'm British. Swearing's like breathing to us. So
Well, that's why I think
I
it's so
just
funny when we were interviewing Jimmy and he was like almost said it and he was like, "Can I say that?" We're like,
I
"Hi."
filter myself so much on social media, but
Same.
that and gross. I feel like I say gross a lot. Everything's gross. Just gross. Yuck.
You do say
Gross.
gross a lot.
Gross.
But I think fuck still wins because we say
Yeah.
that a lot. Okay,
Yeah.
so the next one's like a two-part question. So we're gonna have to kind of answer it in like one part at a time. But it's what
Mhm.
is your mod red flag? And then what is your green flag? So I
Oh,
took this question at least to mean like, what do we as mods not like, basically, and what do we like? So if I'm reading the question wrong, sorry. But that's how I took it. So I feel
mm,
like red so I feel like green flag is easier to talk about first because it's just like
mhm.
it's obvious. Because I feel like with green flag, it's definitely all the sweet messages. Like we
Yeah.
get some very, very sweet people. And the stuff that they tell us just, like we've had days where we're struggling. Like we hate
Yeah.
everything we're making. No matter how hard we're trying, we're like, this looks like shit. This looks like shit, like all day. We just hate everything. And
Yeah.
then, we're frustrated with it, or we put something up that we're like, oh my gosh, this is so good. And then like nobody views it. It doesn't get the love we want. So yeah, we have our frustrated moments. And it's like when we have those moments and we get that person who comes in and is like, you guys just do such a good job, or like, oh my gosh, your work is so good, or whatever. Like it makes us feel really good and it makes us want to keep going. When we have those days where we're like, we should just cancel the page. We're done. Like we're just pissed off
I'm
because
done.
like
Yeah.
everything
I
looks
don't do
terrible.
that.
We hate it. And then it's like, yeah, we've never said that.
Haven't
Um,
spiraled for 3 days
no.
or anything. Yeah, no,
Why would
never.
we do that?
Yeah.
Never. But yeah, I feel like when we have those kinds of days and we have that little pick me up, it's just like,
Yeah.
oh. And we do kind
And
of have we may have a follower who does it a lot. And
we appreciate that.
it's very
They like
special.
there may be a follower whose name begins with J, who's very
As an
sweet.
Emmy.
Yeah. Who has a sixth sense and doesn't know it, but whenever we're having a really shit time, they just seem to send us like a really sweet message or some love hearts or something. We're like, oh,
Share something. Yeah.
shit, yeah, yeah. Every time they come and save the day.
They
But
do.
but we've also had like a lot of followers that
Oh yeah.
will reach out or even post really lovely stuff about us or the page or whatever. And it is really appreciated.
I say there have definitely been days where I think like we reread those messages and are like,
Yeah.
yep, this is why we're doing it. And we have that
Yeah.
little reminder. Um, red flag gets a little more spicy. We have definitely had our moments, I think, with red flags. Um,
Mhm.
because I think a lot of times, I think one of the biggest things we have is a lot of people want to use us as like the middleman
Oh,
between
yes.
them and like JC, especially JC, Jimmy too, but especially JC.
Yeah.
And like we get it, we do, you know, like I understand wanting him to see your stuff or wanting
Mhm.
to ask him something or say it's like understandable because we want him to see our stuff too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it definitely has a lot of times where it's just kind of like we feel very used, you know, that it's
Yeah.
like they know that we can talk to him, so therefore they want to like send us everything. And you know, we get it. We get wanting to feel that love from him and everything. Like we understand that, but we're not messengers. And a lot of times it's like if it's something honestly like fantastic, like we had somebody send us something that was genuine. Well, we actually didn't even send it to us. We saw it
Yeah.
and we were like, this is amazing. And like the guys need to see this. And we did. We sent it to them.
Yeah.
But that wasn't even the person asking us to do it. It was us deciding to. And I think, yeah, a lot of times when people want us to do it and like they're just constantly filling our inbox with stuff, like just random stuff half the time, sometimes not even having anything to do with playing with fire. And it's like,
Yeah. I think
okay.
my red flag is similar, because that really does, it is it's difficult because you want to support everybody and a lot of the
Right.
content is so amazing,
Oh,
but
yeah.
also you don't want to blow up, JC's inbox, and it's just an awkward position to be put in.
Right.
Um, but like the messages that we sometimes get where people are half dressed and waving body parts around, we're not JC or Jimmy. We don't want, I mean, I'm sure they don't want to see it either, but we definitely
Because I
don't
don't know if
want
they
to
want to
see it.
either.
Please don't send us waving body parts.
Yeah. We've
Yeah,
gotten some very interesting messages over the past several months. And,
yeah. And even when you say, look, we're not them, they're not going to see this. Please stop sending. We're two, three females, and then they're just like, send us another one the next day.
yeah.
And I'm like,
Like I think a lot of times people don't understand that like yes, we like I don't even say we know them, but
we
like
don't know them, but we know
know
that.
them.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
have access to them.
yeah.
However, we aren't them. We are not directly affiliated with them in any way, shape, or form.
No,
And
they
it's
don't
like if you
tell us
really,
anything about
yeah,
playing
like
with fire.
you
Yeah.
playing with fire inbox is open, you can
Mhm.
just go message that one. Like not
Yeah.
us. Yeah, I get that. I mean, there's been days where you've like come to me and because you've been in the inbox first and you're like, have you seen the message? And I'm like, no. And then I go in, I'm like, oh, I could have unseen that.
Yeah.
So I
Okay, how
definitely
do
get
I
that one.
people with this one? How do I deal with this? How do I
There's just
people?
certain times you've put me on the case and I'm like, I don't even know what to say. Like, I don't even know what to do. So I definitely get that one.
Yeah. Okay, next question, because we could talk about that all day.
Oh, for sure.
Um, this one was really, really, really random, and okay. But which character do you think would have a first trap account? I mean, it's gonna be
That's so
Creature, isn't it?
obvious.
He's got that freaky side. Yeah, it's gonna be Creature.
Creature be the one who'd like post thirst traps about Creature.
Yeah,
Like they'd be self promoting thirst traps even.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah, no,
for
I would
sure.
agree to that one. We're just gonna leave that one alone.
Yeah, leave that there.
So the next one is I guess, kind of goes with the previous question with the whole frustrating and rewarding thing. But what
Yeah.
has been the coolest thing about running the page, and what has been the weirdest thing? The weirdest might be those videos.
Yeah.
That's high up there,
Um,
if not.
I mean, the coolest thing for me was obviously interviewing Cardi, interviewing Jimmy, chatting to other people involved in playing with fire.
Not gonna name
Um,
names.
um, yeah, like just that's obviously like if we
Oh
hadn't
yeah,
have done this page, it just never would have happened. Um, and everybody that we've spoken to has literally been amazing. Like,
agreed. And I just
um,
think it's been really cool too to see like kind of going with the interviewing and stuff, the appreciation, you know, like because obviously, yes, we're doing it to promote, we're not doing it for their attention. But obviously we want them to appreciate it. You know, we don't want them to be like, oh my God, please stop running this page or
yeah,
something like that. Like, you guys are nuts. So like, you know, when we interviewed Jimmy and Jimmy was genuinely like appreciative that we run this page and we do all
yeah,
these things for him, like that was just really sweet. Or like there may or may not have been a message once upon a time from somebody else, thanking us for the page and like thanking us for the support and all that. And it's like, we're not doing it for them, but at the same time, knowing that they appreciate it, of course, feels good. Like that just feels
Yeah.
wonderful. And it's been really cool too, honestly, just to even talk to like some of the followers we've got to meet and things like that. Like
Yeah.
there's been some really fun interactions. And I mean, might be pretty cool that we get to run it with each other because if people haven't figured it out by now, we're like the same person. You're
Yeah.
just like the British counterpart of me.
And Beth too. Like
Yeah,
I love both you girls. Like it's crazy. Like we
it's
are
it's like we were
awesome.
always meant to do it without knowing it.
Yeah. And we complement each other so much. We
Yeah.
really, really do. Like the things that I suck at, you're great at. The things that you suck at, I'm good at. And like even if we have no, there's been days because there's like obviously like right now we pre-make a lot of the content, right? So the rota's done in advance, and
Yeah.
Monica Geller over here usually has it all planned out days in advance and
That's
stuff,
the
and
part
just
where you're good at and I suck at.
yeah, the rota and the to-do lists and stuff like that. But there are days like we're just like we've got nothing, and we
Yeah.
have to just bounce ideas off of each other and just make stuff up like that, and we do it, and that's we really genuinely do work well, like
I
just
say it's
sounding
just
off
like
of each other.
we flow. We've always been so good. And
Yeah,
people don't know it, but we're always kind of constantly telling each other we have the same brain.
yeah.
Because we do. Like we'll sit there and like I'll say so I don't know how many times I'll send you a voice message and you'll send me one at the same time and we're saying the exact same thing without knowing
Every
it.
day,
And so like it
multiple
works
times
so
a day.
good.
Yeah.
We do it all the time. All the time.
Oh dear. Oh, my phone's closed again. Hold on.
Good at
Um,
this. Lose it on stuff.
I know.
That's why I
Well,
printed it. It made it much
well,
easier.
I know. Well, I don't. Two phones.
Shut up. Yeah, I
Um,
love you too. We just told
all
everybody
right.
how well we get along.
It's your turn to ask the question anyway. Shh.
No, it's not. I said the coolest thing one. It's your turn.
Oh shit, yeah. Okay. Favorite artists other than NSYNC or one of the members?
That's hard. I really love Maroon
Hmm.
5. I've been a big Maroon 5 fan since like they came out. Then they kind of got really quiet. I know they have a new song out now, and I'll admit I haven't heard it yet. I've been busy running a page or something. But I do love Maroon 5. Um I like a lot of there's a lot of songs where I like the song. I'm not saying I don't like the artist. I just don't necessarily really know them because like I'll listen to music in my car and it's, whatever the top 40 and that kind of thing. So I'll hear a song and I'll be like, "Oh my gosh, the song's really good." But I couldn't tell you anything about the artist. And like, but I like some and I like some of the classics like, I love Christina Aguilera. I love Britney Spears. Like some of those that are still older music, back in the day kind of thing. But Instinct's still my favorite. But
I
Maroon
mean,
5 and that,
obviously.
those were big. Especially like after Instinct went on hiatus, I kind of went big on Maroon 5 for a long time. So I'd probably say them.
So mine's probably I'm so eclectic. Like if you go to my favorites in like Spotify or Apple Music or whatever,
Right.
it's literally I've got country music, I've got heavy metal, I've got rock, I've got 90s, I've got 70s, I've got 60s, I've
Oh,
got
my Spotify's a mess.
literally everything. I've got Richard Marx, I've got Stevie Wonder, I've got Pat Benatar, I've got all of NSYNC and all of the derivatives that arrive from around that, you know,
Yep.
literally everything. But I will say recently, um, Leroy Sanchez released an album. It's so fucking good. So
Yes.
fucking good. The music, the lyrics, the vocals, they're just fucking on point. And I'm obsessed with it. I am. It's so good. If you haven't listened to it, listen to it. You will not regret it.
Agreed. And while we're at it, we'll shamelessly plug Cardi too, because Cardi's got some
Yeah.
new stuff out that is like, wow, like it's
Like
so good.
ridiculous. It's so good, it's ridiculous.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
constantly messaging them, being like, "Oh my god, this is so good," and then like 2 days later, they'll put out a new song, and I'm like, "Oh my god, this is so good!" Like every day. So yeah, I get that one.
We love
Um,
that.
okay, next one. Does JC message you often? I knew somebody was going to ask about this. Like
Yeah.
I just did.
Yeah.
Um,
We've
so we try
discussed
not to be
this.
like
Yeah.
Yeah, like we try not to discuss, obviously, our messaging with various people. Just because, it's personal. Like obviously everything that happens, everything that's said in DMs is kind of between
Private.
us and whoever we're DMing. So
Mhm.
I will simply say we have spoken to both of them more than once, and we're gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, that's the end of that one.
No further comment. Oh
Yeah,
wait. I'll pull a JC on that one and just be thirsty because
yeah.
that works well. He's
He's
smart on
like,
that
well,
one.
just thirsty.
We'll take a page from his book. Why not?
Yeah. Okay, be honest. Have you ever posted a thirst trap of someone and pretended it was for engagement reasons? Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely all the freaking
Absolutely.
time. Yeah, not on the Posse page, obviously,
Yeah, no.
but on our personal pages every freaking time. Like, we enjoy them too.
Right. And
You know,
honestly, I
like,
love making them. Like I don't even it doesn't even matter who I'm
I
making
just
it
love
of.
editing them. Yeah.
Yes, I just like I made one for Lance for his birthday. And it was just fun. Like it was just like I love making them. I love what because a lot of times like, what people don't see is you've got all these clips and then you've
Hmm.
got to cut them down and you've got to time them right and all this stuff. And it can be a nightmare to do, but then you go
Oh
back and
yeah.
you watch it and you're like, I went from
That.
something that looked like a jumble to like, oh my God, this looks so good. So yeah, I mean, very, very guilty. There may be a few thirst traps on my page. Anyway, moving on. Okay, so that goes with this, and I didn't know this was a thing, but do
Mhm.
you have a burner account just to like your own thirst traps? Do people do this? Like,
Yeah,
is this
like
a
that's
thing?
when I saw this question, I was like, people do that?
Right?
No,
Like,
no, I
no, I
would just
don't.
like it off my own account. Like I'm not,
Yeah,
yeah.
like
I
I
don't give a
posted
fuck.
it.
Like,
Obviously, I like it. I'm just saying, if
yeah,
I posted it, I like it. I don't need a burner account to prove that.
it's crazy.
Right?
Um, okay, what's the next one? Because that's a hard no.
Yeah, just a no.
Um, you have 24 hours alone with your favorite artist. What's the plan? So, firstly, we're gonna not get your heads out of the gutter. We're not gonna be thirsty. Yeah, I would just hang out and just pick apart the brains of JC and Jimmy. I want to know everything. Like,
Yeah.
I
I want
can't
to just chill on the
everything.
couch, the
Play with the
famous couch in the
doggy.
studio, and just like be chilling. And like JC, if he could bring Bronson,
Yeah, play with the dog.
I want to just play with the dog.
I just like, there was behind the scenes videos, even with like Jimmy talk. I want to sit there. I want to know. But because how do you do that? But why do you do that? How do you know when you need to do that?
Right.
Like
I feel
I
like
just
they're the
need to
perfect
know.
people to go have like a coffee date with, where like
Yeah,
you just sit down with your coffee or whatever, and they're like, okay, tell me everything. Like, I just want to know how you got to
everything.
this point. Why did you pick, this part of the musical to write into a song? Why did you this and that? And not even like playing with fire, but even just in general, like, how did you decide this song for this artist or, just
Yeah.
everything? Because I feel like the
What are
two of
you
them,
working on now? Like,
yeah,
like
like
all of that.
what's going on?
Yeah.
Who are you producing for now? Who are you writing for now? Yeah, like, because I feel like the two of them just have these brains that don't shut off. Like the gears are
Mhm.
just constantly going. As soon as they finish one thing, they're on to the next big project and,
Yeah,
whatever.
how that feels. Yeah.
Yeah. And I would love to just be like, so tell us all about it. Tell us why this, why that, how this, how that, like, and I feel like they're the type that would have very deep, I mean, even just from what we've experienced, like talking to Jimmy and that, really deep intellectual conversation and like not just your little skimming the surface simpleton answer. And I think
Yeah.
that would just be amazing.
Just perfect, wouldn't it? Like that'd be goals right
Yeah,
there.
I would love that. The next question is we just said we weren't going to be in the gutter. This question is so far in the gutter. I
So
read
far
this
from there.
question at like 10 o'clock in the morning or something when it got submitted, and I like died on the spot. But we said we were going to answer all the questions. So, um, have you ever had one of those dreams about JC, Jimmy, or any of the Instinct guys? So let me start this off. Okay, I was 13 years old when the No Strings Attached tour happened. Okay, 13 years old is like coming of age, right? Digital Get Down was at my coming of age. That's all I'm gonna say. But 13-year-old girl, stage lick, 13-year-old girl. Yes. Like,
Yeah,
come on.
I feel like look, we're not going to talk about who or when or why or how many times or how many people were involved at one time. But what I will say is yes. Next question.
Right? We were teenage girls. Hello. Teenage girls. Come on.
Okay.
Thank
Um,
God there's only one question left.
right, I know. I'm blushing. No,
We're gonna get fired.
yeah, that's it. They're going to be blocked.
Be like, nope.
They put up with us so well, and this is going to be like the final straw.
They tolerate us. I swear.
They tolerate us so well.
They do.
Okay, last one. Have you ever posted something and immediately regretted it, but left it up anyways?
All of your bunnies and leprechauns.
Yeah,
Thumbs
every
down.
time. So I create all of the images, the stupid images that you see with like JC and Jimmy's faces superimposed on characters,
Everything.
everything. And I love it. But I also literally every single time I message him like, I'm so sorry for this. Like for what's about to come. I am so, so sorry.
Yeah, Jimmy likes it every time.
Yeah,
So
Jimmy does. Like Jimmy, I think Jimmy
thanks,
gets the
Jimmy, for
humor.
putting up with us.
um, so yeah, those and like today I posted like a JC photo edit. And the song that was on there really didn't go. And it was like it was Bon Jovi, You Give Love a Bad Name. And I was just like, oh, that's not very nice. JC doesn't give love a bad name. And so I was like, late posting already. So I was like, quick, take it off, take the, sound off, upload it. And then I had to pick another song. And so then the Life is a Highway song came on. And I was like, oh, that's fine. It's about the same beat. That'll work, right? Not thinking about it.
Mistake
Then
number one.
mistake number one. Mistake number two. I didn't listen to it before I posted it.
That's the
Mistake
best
number
wake up for me
three.
ever. Woke up like, what is happening?
Mistake number three was that it was such a short clip this time that it only had a few words in it. And I was like, oh, it's gotta be fine. It's in a Disney or Pixar film, right? It's in Cars, right? So I was like,
Yes.
it's gotta be fine. And then the only bit that stays on it is like, I want to ride it all night long. And I was like, no,
I'm pretty sure had
no.
already like been like some of the followers had already shared it and stuff. That's
Yeah,
my biggest thing. Is there have definitely been things I posted where I'm like, oh crap. But like people have already shared it. And I'm
yeah,
like, well,
yeah,
okay. Like I guess I'm gonna leave it up now. But
yeah.
I think you might win that one for things you posted.
Oh yeah, that was bad today. I was just like, oh well, my bad.
Yeah, and the best part is I'm pretty sure you tagged them too. So
Yep.
sorry, JC.
Didn't even realize. And it wasn't until about 20 minutes after I posted it, I tagged everybody, people had liked it and shared it, and I was just like, oh,
Like my bad. Yeah, I definitely had a few. Or my big one is a lot of times there's stuff where like we post it and the music won't work. And it like
oh,
takes the sound off because it's like copywritten in certain countries or whatever.
yeah, I hate that.
And I will say sometimes if it's like one country, especially if it's a country like far away, kind of small, whatever, I just leave it.
Hmm. Oh
But
yeah,
if it's just in ones where it's like everybody basically, and I'm like, oh, cool. And yeah, half the time I've noticed it. There's one on my personal one. I didn't notice for weeks that the sound didn't work. And I was like, oh, well, that's awkward, but
yeah,
like, okay. But yeah, I mean, what do you do at that point? It's already been up. It's already been liked by the people who could like it. Um, and yeah,
yeah.
you just kind of have to roll with
Me
it.
and
Like,
spelling mistakes. I do that a lot. If there's a spelling mistake, it's me. Okay. Like it is every time. Um,
I
but
mean, I'd
yeah, that's
argue that that's the
an even longer story. Um, but yeah, we won't get into that. But it's yeah, it's usually me, and every time I'm like, if I can't delete it, like if it's on a story and you can't like edit it and stuff,
right.
I desperately want to delete it and take it down. And there's times that like, JC or Jimmy have seen it or like people like that and they've already seen it and I was like, well, I can't do anything now.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
know?
there's even just stuff where like I think there's been things I've posted at least where like everything's fine on it, like the graphics, the whatever. But it's just one of those where like afterwards I'm kind of like, that was stupid.
Yeah.
like, and then I'm like, ugh. And then like, and you can't untag people. So
Hmm.
like I either have to delete it and then there's just this big, gap in the messages or something, or I have to just grin and accept it. And I know a lot of times like you'll tell me, you'll be like, no, Kate, it's fine. And I'm like, no, it's not. I'm like whining because I'm just
Like,
like,
shut up.
yeah, I
You
get told
stop
shut
it.
up on a regular because I'm like,
Yeah.
no, it looks like shit. And you're like, no, it looks fine. I'm like, no, it doesn't. Like all the time. All
Yeah.
the time that one
But
happens. But like
I do that too
it
though. The
happens
amount of times we're just like, it's shit, I hate it, but here it is. And you're like, it's great,
all
shut
the
up.
time. I
Yeah.
swear, I feel like if people could really hear and see the behind the scenes of this page, they would be like, you guys are the most normal, fucked up people ever. We'd be like,
Yep.
yep, accurate.
Yep.
Because, like,
Yeah.
I know a lot of people think, because we run the page and all that. And, like, you always see our faces and whatnot that, like, we're super cool. We're not.
We're not,
We're
no,
not.
we're lame.
No. Like, we're dorks. It's totally fine.
We're lame.
Like,
We're
we
stupid. We send each other memes all
oh
day
my gosh, like
long.
we make memes to send each other that are so dumb because we've had
Yeah.
a bad day or something. We're like, I'm gonna send all these memes, and like,
Yeah.
it's what we do. That's what makes it so fun, though. And honestly, like, I hope that all of our followers and stuff just see. I hope they do see that. Like, we are very normal people. We're just like everybody else. Like, we're not.
Just fans that like
Yeah,
enjoy doing this and want so desperately to see Playing with Fire on stage that we
agreed.
give up every bit of free time that we have to
Yep.
just keep the conversation going and
Exactly. And it's,
show
it's
that.
been worth it. It's been so
Yeah,
worth it.
so
Like,
worth it.
there
I
have
wouldn't
definitely
change
been
it.
days we've had our moments where we're like, I don't want to do this anymore, or whatever. Like we've had our moments, we've had our spirals of like
Yeah.
making this page was the worst decision we've ever had, or something like that. But no, honestly, we love it. It's fantastic. We have no intention of going anywhere anytime soon. Um, and
No,
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, okay, depending on the moment, sometimes we got to wrangle the other one back in. But definitely there's definitely been days where I'm like, I don't want to do this, and Emma's like, yes, you do. And then there's days where Emma doesn't want to do it, and I'm like, yes, you do. But
Yeah.
honestly, like, no, we love it. I think it's been an experience. It has its good experience moments. It has its bad experience moments, but
Yeah.
it's been fun. And I think someday we're gonna see it on stage, and we're gonna be like, not saying we played a role because we didn't, but
No.
like, you know,
Yeah. But we were a
to see it all
part of
happen.
the movement behind it, maybe, or something
I
like
say I
that.
think sometimes we give it a push, and we'll take the
Yeah.
push.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think that sums us up.
Yeah.
Hopefully everybody had fun watching us look like total assholes.
Yeah.
I
Complete
feel like we should
idiots.
end
Yeah.
this with like a disclaimer, like, dear JC and Jimmy, we're sorry.
Don't
Please,
watch
no,
this.
don't watch this. We're gonna actually like block you from watching this. Um, please don't hate us. Please continue to love us and give us little hearts because
Because we love
we're
it.
we're cool, I promise. I don't think they believe that though. But
No.
seriously, hopefully everybody loved it. I don't know, maybe we'll do this again one day. We'll
Yeah.
see. In the meantime, I feel like we have one last cheer and then we gotta go make stuff for our page.
Yeah.
So hopefully everybody loved it and we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye,
Cheers.
guys. Cheers.